Since we last took a look at Luna coin, from a price perspective, it has performed extremely well. So it's time to take another look, perform some technical analysis and make some price predictions on where we could see Luna coin go in the next few days and weeks. Let's take a look. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video, and today we're taking another look at the Luna coin, which sits on the Terra blockchain. We're going to perform our usual technical analysis and as a result of that make some price predictions. But before we get started, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. We cover crypto, investing, stocks and wealth management. So if that interests you, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications. I'd also love to know down in the comment section below if you are a Luna coin holder or if you're planning to be in the near future. But without further ado, let's jump into CoinSpot. As always, welcome into CoinSpot, guys. If you're looking to buy Luna or any other cryptocurrencies, there's a link in the description of this video to sign up to CoinSpot right now and get started. But let's take a look at the Luna coin chart, and as you can see, it has performed very well. And the last time we took a look at Luna coin, it was roughly 4 o'clock on the 30th of June. Now I'm just going to put a line in place to indicate where we were at that point in time for the viewers, and as you can see, the price at that point in time was sitting roughly at $8.18. So you can see now from a value perspective, we're now sitting at $9.02. So we have performed relatively well, a 10% increase roughly, but we did peak, and this was earlier in the day, at a value of $10.58 roughly. So that is fantastic news. But as you're going to see, we're actually now sitting at a critical point of support, which is at the $9 range roughly. I'm just going to zoom out so you can see this. And as you can see, we actually managed to break through this. This was our previous point of resistance. And as I say, when you break through resistance, that becomes your new point of support. So let me just grab a trend line to mark the $9 mark roughly right about here. I'm just going to bring it down a bit on this side. There we go. So this is our $9 support point roughly, and as you can see, that is obviously where we are currently sitting, and what we're expecting to see is a bounce off this point. So we've obviously come up, we've managed to break through. You can see actually the volume increased very significantly when we did breach this critical point, and you can see obviously the price jumped as a result with it, which is fantastic. It was a key indicator for traders to get in and go, okay, we're starting to trend upwards now. It then went up, and let's just zoom out to see if it did hit any other points of resistance, and in fact, you know what, it actually did. I'm just going to copy this line, and that was at the $10.50 odd cent mark roughly. I'm going to chuck that one in just to indicate that for us as well, because you can see now we're in that horizontal trading channel. So we've got two markers at this point in time, two key points that we need to consider. We have our point of support at $9 where we're currently sitting, and we have a point of resistance at roughly $10.50. So zooming out in the hourly, you can see that there's been plenty of price action in the past at this point in time, which means that this is a key point for us to trade between from a resistance and support point of view. I'm just going to quickly delete this line as well to clean things up. So what do I think is going to happen just based on purely what we've seen here? Well, I'm expecting we're going to see a bounce off the support here, and I'm hoping that we then start to trend upwards once again in this channel and test our next point of resistance that we're trying to break through. The fact that we've managed to break through this initial point has been positive news, because we saw highs that we hadn't seen in over a month. So we saw those back in May, and it was towards the point of where we just sort of recovered briefly from the drop. So that is fantastic news overall. what I'm going to do now is try and show you guys that on the daily, this is really a key point. So I've gone to the daily chart now, and as you can see, we are sitting in that key channel, horizontally trading now. So I'm going to actually use this to then map our moving averages as well. And just for your reference, you can see we did have a bit of a spike in volume there as a result of breaking through that point. So let's bring in some of our indicators. The first two I'm going to bring in are, as always, our moving averages. And we're going to use the 20-day moving average, and we're going to use the 50-day moving average. So the 20-day moving average is in the blue, and the 50-day moving average will be in red. And something interesting is just about to occur, and this is something which is truly exciting. What we have seen is not only a breach in the previous resistance at $9, which is now our support, we also saw our price pass above the 50-day moving average. And we haven't been there for quite some time. I'm just going to zoom upwards here so you can see that. The last time we even sort of got anywhere near that point was on the 16th of May, and then we had a massive drop. As you can see, we had our death cross occur back here, and we dropped all the way down. But it looks like our short-term 20-day moving average is about to cross above our longer-term 50-day moving average. Now, that is incredibly significant. And when that does occur, that is going to be a major indicator for anyone looking to get into the stock that we are having a large trend reversal. So fantastic news there. I'm going to add in one more moving average. It's a bit longer term, and it is the 200-day moving average. Let's chuck that one in, and we'll make it, let's go with orange. And I'm going to chuck in 200. I suspect this will be below everything. Wow, no it's not. Which is actually quite interesting. Something interesting that has occurred, and this is something we haven't looked at for Luna before, guys, is both the 20-day and the 50-day moving averages actually crossed below the 200-day moving average. And what's really interesting is this was at a point in time when we'd started to, as you can clearly see, relax from a price volatility point of view. You can see it crossed here, didn't have a major impact, and it crossed here as well. So twice in June have we had two key moving averages close below the 200-day moving average. So very, very interesting. The 200-day moving average is sitting roughly at $11.50. The 50-day moving average is sitting roughly at $8.30, and the 20-day moving average is sitting roughly at $10.85. So I really think we're going to see the 20-day cross above the 50-day, and then hopefully we're going to see some momentum start to gain, and we're going to break through and crack this $11.50 mark. Really, really cool stuff. Let's just get rid of these moving averages now, and let's take a look at the moving average convergence divergence MACD. And something that we're seeing now is quite a lot of positivity. So obviously we saw a decent bit of a golden cross here on the MACD, with the short term moving up through the long term moving average after a huge dip. You can see the volume of the dip here was pretty tremendous, and now we are, well, it's been positive basically the entire time since that point. So the golden cross occurred on roughly the 30th of May, started going, and now we're seeing that we could start to continue trending. I'm a bit worried that we're going to see the short term cross below the longer term on the MACD, but regardless, we're seeing major indicators on the actual chart itself from a 20-day and a 50-day perspective that indicate otherwise. So not a major concern, but you might see a bit of the buying pressure start to drop off a bit. Hopefully it doesn't occur, but it is a possibility. Let's also just check up on the relative strength index as well. also known as the RSI. Let's chuck that one in. And you can see we're not overcooked or anything as well. We're still between the 70 and 40. We're currently sitting at about 53 points on this chart. So that's absolutely fine. We could go up, we could go down, but it's looking like at this point in time, we are going to move upwards. MACD is probably one of the only key indicators that are indicating, maybe not, just due to the fact that those averages are getting close on there, but it is looking good otherwise. So what's my price target? Well, my price target is to breach this $10.50 mark. That's what we want to do. We want to breach $10.50 Australian, and that will really be a change in the trend. That will result in the shorter term moving averages crossing above the longer term moving averages, and we're going to start to see some momentum build back into Luna Coin overall, which is what we obviously want as investors, or if you are a trader as well, this is probably a good point to enter in. Keep in mind, we want to bounce off this support point here. We don't want to dip below it or close below it, and that's at $9. We want to maintain the trading channel, and hopefully the target is we breach that $10.50 mark. That wraps up the Luna technical analysis for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below, and whether or not you are a Luna holder or planning to be as well. If you did enjoy today's video, please remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. As I say, we cover crypto, investing, stocks and wealth management, so if that interests you, make sure you subscribe and join the channel. But I'll leave it there, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.